Okay, so in this video we are going to use the unit circle values for all of our 90-degree multiples. So you'll notice here, even though I've set it, this angle 180, 450, 270, 360, we could take all these guys and divide them by 9, so they're multiples of 90 degrees. And so we kind of have to figure out what each one of these are around the unit circle or where they're located. So the first thing that I'm going to do, and I recommend that when we take our no calculator test, we're going to have a little quick no calculator quiz as well, is draw our coordinate grid and label the 4 points. This is one of the things that you should first write down on your piece of paper. And I'm going to label these coordinates. We've gone over these. This is 1, 0, and this is 0 or 360 degrees. This one's 90 degrees, this one's 180 degrees, and this one's 270 degrees. And so we also have to remember that sine of an angle is equal to the y value, cosine of theta is equal to an x value, and tangent is equal to y over x. So what I'm going to do here is look at these points and find the rotation, locate where the rotation is on the unit circle, and then just find the appropriate coordinate, y or x. We'll save tangent for the last because we can just use the table, and I'll put y, x, y over x here. So negative 180 degrees, so that's this rotation. And this point, which I haven't labeled yet, so 90 degrees is 0, 1, 180 is negative 1, 0, and 270 is 0, negative 1. So the y value here is 0. So sine is going to equal 0. 450. So if I'm 450 degrees, if I subtract 360, that's going to equal 90 degrees. So I look at the coterminal angle. Well, where's 90 degrees? Well, I'm looking for sine, so I'm looking at the y value. That's going to be 1. Okay, so what I'd like for you to do is I'd like for you to pause the video, try and fill in the rest of the table, and then just confirm. I'll have an explanation as to how I find all the points with the answers filled in, and just check your work. Okay, if you heard that, that was Mr. Allen. So now we're going to do 270. So the idea here is we're just, sine is y, so I'm just going to look at all my y values. So sine of 270 is negative 1, sine of 360 is 0, sine of 0 degrees is 0. Cosine, so now I'm looking at x values. So cosine of negative 180 is negative 1. Cosine of 90 degrees is 0. Cosine of 270 is 0. Cosine of 360 is 1. And cosine of 0 is 1. So all I'm doing for cosine is I'm going around, I'm rotating to where the angle rotation is, and I'm looking at all the x values. If I have something greater than 360, if I do not know what the angle value is, I subtract 360 to give me the coterminal angle. And now for tangent, I'm not going to go back to the diagram. I'm going to use my table. If I had like just maybe one question and I said maybe what's tangent of negative 180, I would look at this point and I'd say, okay, well that's y over x, so that's 0 over negative 1, which is 0. And so all I'm going to do with my table now is I'm going to put my y over my x, and so this would be undefined. And I talked in a previous video how we can use the idea of slope of a horizontal line and vertical line to tell us whether it's going to be 0 or undefined. So at 360, it's a horizontal line. We'd have 0 over 1, which is equal to 0, and 0 over 1 again, which is equal to 0. And so that's how we can find sine, cosine, and tangent for our unit circle values, and these are only specific to the 0, 90, 180, and 270s, and any coterminal rotations beyond that.